welcome to the Dan McShane Coaches Show as we get you set for Pennsbury football here on WBCB. Coach McShane, you guys looking for your first win of the season coming up against CB East. Before we get to this week's game, want to go back to last week's action against North Penn. Talk a little bit about Friday night. It was a crazy situation, thunder and lightning, the game ultimately getting postponed to Saturday. What were you hearing when you arrived at North Penn, and what was going on with the team and your preparations?
I know as we pulled into Lansdale, it just started pouring, and pouring is one thing. And I know, Dick Beck's an old school guy. He's going to try to play no matter what, and we are too. We got up there and we figured, all right, we're going to be playing in the pouring rain. We had our big bag of ball dry and lots of towels, and we get up there, and then you start to hear the rumble of thunder off in the distance, and then you realize that the safety requires that you wait. So every time we heard thunder, it was 30 minutes. So we're just kind of waiting, and North Penn people were really good, and just kind of kept us in the know as much as they could, and as far as the weather would cooperate or not.
And North Penn did what they could to get the game going, ultimately playing on an all-purpose turf field about 400 yards away from Crawford Stadium. When did you guys find out you were going to be playing on that surface?
Oh, geez. Well, we found out we were going to be playing at 1 o'clock. It started Friday night. They said, we're coming back at 1 o'clock on Saturday. And then I think we were preparing to leave for the 1 o'clock start, and we were told it's going to be a 2 o'clock start. It's going to be on the turf. We're like, okay. And I had talked with Coach Beck a long time back, years back now, talking about the possibility of ever playing on the turf, and I don't think they've ever done it, and it was the first. And you know what? It wasn't bad. It was actually a pretty cool atmosphere, a little tight, a little cozy, comfy, and a little bit of atmosphere to it. The fans, I was right there. They were helping me call plays, and
Yeah, they were right on top of the action.
Yes,
that's for sure. An intimate setting for Pennsbury football at North Penn this past Saturday. Falcons, a disappointing result in that game. What are your takeaways from the North Penn loss?
Well, again, we realized that we've been close. It doesn't count around here close, though, but, it's 12-7 and a half, and we were playing really well, and playing, but it just keeps coming back to, big plays that would, get away from us. They had a couple explosive plays, and whether it's that, Academy Park or Penwood, it's kind of been our kind of downfall.
So after Saturday's game, an injury update with this team. Seems like you guys have been able to stay pretty much injury-free so far this season.
Yeah, we work hard in the weight room in the off season, and it's a big factor in maintaining your ability to play every week. And so far, I think Boyd got a little bit of a, kind of dinged up a little bit, but he's fine. He's been practicing all week. So
Boyd even thrown a touchdown pass in that game. What do you call that formation where you guys have the full backfield? Drew Henser was lined up just to the right of Boyd.
It's very simple. It's the bone. It kind of roots it from the wishbone offense, and we got a couple quarterbacks on the field, and so Coach Bell was really creative with manufacturing some plays out of that offense.
So that was a bright spot for you guys, able to get the touchdown hookup. But again, seemed like when I look back at the game video, some opportunities to make tackles that were missed on the defensive side. Nice to see Trevor Williams get home a couple times. He had a sack and a half, a big game for Zach Wales, and some individual performances and guys stood out in that game, but overall looked like some missed opportunities for you guys to make plays.
Yeah, again, it's 12-7 and a half, and I think we get them in the 3rd and long, and they complete a 50-yard shot down the field, which there was pass interference on. You figure, all right, we're going to pass interfere, let's knock the ball down. Instead, he catches it. Otherwise, it's a 15-yard penalty, and they go in to score from there. Then I think we had a big turnover deep in our own end, and Drew's trying to do a little too much. And but we felt like, it was a good first half, and we were moving the ball. We had a couple opportunities in the red zone that kind of fizzled out, but we felt good about what we were doing on offense and defense.
James Hose gets a big interception. That kind of turned that first half around for you guys as North Penn came out firing, and you guys made a defensive stand, got the interception there right by the goal line, and were able to, as you said, go into the locker room at 12-7 against that tough North Penn team.
Yeah, he simply did what he's coached to do, and that's what we've been asking our players. When you're going through these trials and tribulations we are right now, you just go back to basics and and read your keys and just make simple plays and don't worry about trying to win all 10 games in one play.
Coach, I want to thank you for being flexible and giving us a few minutes here. I know you guys had to move practice around again. The early part of this season has thrown the Pennsbury program a bunch of curveballs, and that's probably the case for almost every program in the area. Yeah. But this weekend with Friday and Saturday, having the game moved around, what's your take on? I mean, has there been something that's been more of a challenge or than you expected?
No, not at all. It's just another, we shall overcome. It's just whatever they put in front of us, we'll figure a way, around it, over it, under it, through it, whatever. And it's just, like you said, everybody's going through the same thing. Some schools have turf fields, which allow them, to practice a little more kind of cleaner. We're out there slipping and sliding in mud and old school football.
Well, we got a date. We want you to mark the calendar for September the 30th as the Pennsbury football team and the Pennsbury cheerleaders are getting together for the second annual color run. That's going to be at the Falls Township Park. And we're going to continue here with the Dan McShane Show in just a little bit. But Coach McShane, before we step aside, we had Zach Wales and Kyle Anderson with us at the Coaches Roundtable show at Sandy's Beef and Ale this past Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And those guys are volunteers for the Bucks County Challenger Flag Football Program. And I know the flag football program was supposed to get started this weekend because of the rain and the weather that we've already referenced. They couldn't get going, but this weekend you guys will start to put together a program. Your high school players are the trainers and the coaches for athletes with special needs that are out there receiving skill training. It's a great opportunity for your players. Talk a little bit about how that gives some guys perspective, maybe a little humility that you can help them develop as men.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a sense that we're not the only one here on the planet, and that our lives need to make a difference. And if not, somebody once told me, "What the heck's the difference?" So our kids are, aware of going out and providing those type of community service and just working with people.
And that's a program that, again, a lot of the programs have some volunteers that work with kids in the Bucks County Challenger Flag Football Program, and it was great to have Kyle and Zach with us Wednesday at Sandy's Beef and Ale. They were the players of the week. We're going to get right back to the show, talk a little bit about the CB East Patriots and what to expect tonight as the Falcons square off and look for their first win of the season. We'll have it for you here on WBCB. We're right back after this.
The ARIA 3B Orthopedic Institute is redefining care in Center City and South Jersey. And our 50,000 square foot location on ARIA Health's Bucks campus in Langhorne features private rooms, free parking, and nearby hotels. With over a century of experience, the world-class 3Bs, Doctors Booth, Bartolozzi, Balderston, and their partners personally guide you from treatment through recovery. For all your orthopedic needs, call 1-888-ORTHO-3B or visit aria3bortho.org. At the ARIA 3B Orthopedic Institute, you come first.
If you are looking for a car, where do you go? Faulkner Auto Group at 4427 Street Road in Trevose is where to go. For the best deals in Bucks County for all your new pre-owned cars, trucks, or SUVs, go to Faulkner Auto Group. It's always Faulkner, to be sure. Go online to faulknerautogroup.com. Just remember, it's Faulkner, to be sure, for all your new cars or trucks. 4427 Street Road in Trevose. Faulkner, to be sure.
I'm Merrill Reese to tell you about our good friends at the Revere Ristorante Italiano in nearby Ewing Township at 802 River Road. I can tell you that from South Philadelphia to New York's Mulberry Street, there's no better Italian cuisine than that served at the Revere. Start your meal with one of their great appetizers or salads. Entrees include outstanding veal dishes, fresh seafood daily, excellent steaks and chops, homemade pasta dishes, daily specials, and much more. You can also enjoy their bar area, where on most weekends, entertainment is offered. The Revere also does off-premise catering, and you can accommodate private parties for any affair, including business functions. Call the Revere Ristorante Italiano for more information and reservations at 609-882-6365. 882-6365. The Revere Ristorante Italiano open Monday through Friday for lunch and 7 days for dinner at 802 River Road, right off the Wilbertha Road exit on Route 29 in nearby Ewing Township.
Don't forget, if you miss any of your local high school sports action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at thetrentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian.
Welcome back to the Dan McShane Show, getting you set for Pennsbury football on WBCB. Coach McShane, last week the CB East Patriots came up with a big win against the unbeaten Ben Salem Owls at the time. I know you have some coaching roots into the Ben Salem high school program. That was a big win for them, and Jake Ventresca just ran all over them, his second big game of the season. What do you see when you look at CB East on film? What do you expect from this team?
They're very diverse, I would say, in all aspects, from special teams to what they're doing on offense. They're in lots of different formations and personnel groups, but in the end, these same kids getting the ball, so they just try to window dressing it up a little bit, I think, and so we're going to be aware of where he's lined up all the time.
So they're looking kind of for a bounce-back year, and they brought some starters back, and they're off to a 2-1 start. Anything defensively that you see that might give you guys some opportunities, either on the ground game, passing the football? We've talked about it before. You guys really strive for balance in that regard.
Always. If the numbers are right, we're going to run the ball. If the numbers are wrong, the other way around, we're going to throw the ball. So, we feel very confident in our people up front on the offensive line. Have done a really good job, and Drew's decision making is getting better and better, and we're getting the ball more and more in space to our athletes. And so, we feel like what they do on defense. There are some opportunities for us as far as getting our athletes in mismatches.
It's a team that rushed, I think, for like 400 yards against Ben Salem. Do you look at those stats and kind of set them aside because of the conditions that night? The Ben Salem Owls and CB East Patriots, they were able to get their game going Friday night, but they played basically with rain falling all night long. That does give a ground game a little bit of an advantage.
Oh, I don't know about that, but it's 400's 400. I mean, there's no getting around that. I guess the theory is where you're going and the other guy doesn't, and so you have a little firmer footing. But in the end, you want to try to keep the ball as close to the ground as possible, and especially in bad weather. And so I think they really kind of got involved in that mode, and they got a long balanced line type of stuff, and kept their formations really condensed, and just pounded the ball, and found some seams in Ben Salem's defense.
CB East bringing back a few returners, but a lot of those guys are in skill positions. Talk a little bit about their quarterback, Evan O'Donnell, and what you've seen. I guess when you're talking about the fact that they're balanced, he can throw the football, and they also are going to get it a ton to Jake Ventresca.
Yeah, well, the quarterback, we've seen a couple good ones already the past couple weeks, so past few weeks, the 3 weeks, so they're real dynamic kids, and he's in that mode, between run and throw, and so we got to be aware of keeping him kind of in the pen, so to speak. But we're gonna stop the run first. That's the thought process all the time, and then just kind of from there see if you're willing to throw the ball.
The Patriots are a team that struggled defending the pass last season. They've tried to shore that up and are doing a better job at that so far in the early going this year. Provide maybe an opportunity to throw the football a little bit more. Do you see a certain part of their defense that you guys want to attack?
Well, yeah, they play a lot of one-on-one on the outside, and we feel like it's kind of soft one-on-one, so we feel like there's some opportunity there. We got some big Miles is in the slot, and he's a big, strong receiver, and we feel like he's a good matchup against any of the kids they have in their secondary, and our guys on the outside do a good job of creating space, and it looks like they're giving us a lot of space out there, so we're going to try to exploit that also.
Just 88 yards on the ground for you guys last week. What can you do to be more consistent? That was one of the things I talked with your center, Kyle Anderson, about. There have been times where you guys have moved the ball effectively, and it seems like there's some good chemistry on the offensive line. Other times, it hasn't come together. North Penn, just a matchup issue for you guys, resulting to 88 yards on the ground?
I think that what they were doing up front, they just loaded the box, and we felt like there was other opportunities on the perimeter, and kind of got the ball out more than in, and we were fairly effective doing that. Again, we moved the ball. Ultimately, it's about scoring, but we felt if we moved the ball, there's too many guys inside to run it, and I think if you get close to 100 yards, you're doing okay, and so we felt like we didn't have any tackle for losses running the ball. We had effective runs, and we covered. There was nobody flashing in the backfield and blowing us up. We just did a lot of guys to handle in the box.
All right, we're going to continue here with the Dan McShane Show. We're going to step aside, return, continue to set up tonight's game. The Pennsbury Falcons taking on the Central Bucks East Patriots. High school football tonight on WBCB.
The Gator, Jerry Blavitt here, to tell you to tune us in every weekday afternoon from 3 to 5 p.m. right here at WBCB 1490 AM and throughout the world at WBCB1490.com. And it's brought to you by the Italian People Bakery and the deli at 63 Butler Street in the Chambersburg section of Trenton, and also in Levittown at Woodburn and Oxford Valley Roads, and where all baking is done on the premises at both stores.
Peruzzi Nissan is the home of the 3495 Pennsylvania State Inspection and Admission, and is your full-service automotive facility for all makes and models, regardless of where you purchased your car. Air conditioner tune-up for just $79.95 at Peruzzi Nissan. Buy 3 tires at Peruzzi Nissan and get the 4th one free, plus free alignment checks. Have your car looking showroom new with a value detail package for just $64.95 and a full detail package for only $179.95. Peruzzi Nissan Service, Business Route 1, Fairless Hills, where our business is you.
Achieving what you want demands the right game plan. When you team up with PNC, you get the tools and know-how you need to get where you want to go. Whether it's buying a new home, sending your kids off to college, or retiring the way you want, PNC is here ready to help you achieve your financial goals. To discover all the ways PNC can help, stop by any branch or visit PNC.com. PNC for the achiever in you. PNC Bank, member FDIC. Hi, this is Merrill Reese, and since 1986, McCaffrey Supermarket has been a real supermarket experience and a very proud member of our community. Through good times and bad times, Jim McCaffrey and his family have been there to assist our neighbors when they needed help, whether it's helping flood victims, raising funds for the American Cancer Society, or supporting the local Little League teams. You can count on McCaffrey's to be there. McCaffrey Supermarkets, 635 Heacock Road in Yardley in the village of Newtown, at 2890 South Eagle Road, and also in Princeton and West Windsor.
Welcome back to the Dan McShane Show here on WBCB. The Pennsbury Falcons taking on the Central Bucks East Patriots tonight. I asked you to mark the calendar for September the 30th. There's going to be a color run happening at the Falls Township Park, the second annual. They're going to have food trucks there. It's going to be a blast, so check that out as we get you ready for the game. But it's another opportunity for the Pennsbury football community. We've talked about the band, the cheerleaders, the Pennsbury Football Club, the parents. They all come together and make it all happen on a Friday night, but it actually extends well beyond Friday night.
Yeah, for sure. It's a sense of community, and we feel really proud of what we do here on Friday nights or the Sunday mornings with the Challenger program, but yeah, it's all a sense of coming together and not just kind of staying in your house.
So another out of league game to get you guys started tonight is you will take on the Patriots, and then you go straight through the league. Is that a part of the schedule you guys are looking forward to, getting into some Suburban 1 League action? Facing off some teams you're kind of familiar with?
Yeah, traditional rivals, and we feel like we saw some pretty talented teams out of league, and real explosive players, and I don't know if we're going to see that type of kid in our league a whole lot, and so we made a point of, even during the summer, of going against dynamic type of players, because those are the type of kids we got to defend at the highest levels of the PIAA. So. It's we're going to bang the ball for sure, but you got to be able to cover people in space and get open in space, and so our league, we feel like it's a little more kind of I'll say strength and power oriented than it is speed. So you have a couple teams out there, but for the most part, we feel like we can match up really well with those type of components.
Well, good luck tonight, Coach, in your matchup against the Central Bucks East Patriots. And again, thanks for making some time for us here on WBCB, as we're ready to go. High school football coming up. The Pennsbury Falcons taking on Central Bucks East here tonight on WBCB.